welcome to a new video. It's another gorgeous day in central Portugal, and this video is a two-parter. It's all about my kitchen cabinet build. It's fairly in-depth, and I just got a little carried away with the filming, so it's grown into two parts. Normally, I would like to release these kinds of videos one after another, so if it comes out on Friday, I would do the second part on Saturday, but tomorrow I have my September wrap-up and October future plans video coming out, so I can't do that. And there's a reason I'm saving the second part until next Friday, which I'll tell you at the end of the video. It's very exciting indeed. I have some exciting news for you guys, so stick around for that. So this video is a two-parter because I got, like I said, a little carried away with the old filming, and I decided to leave a lot of this stuff in. So it's a super in-depth look at me making these cabinets for the corner of my kitchen in the corner of darkness. I don't know if this is the kind of video people like. Like I said, it's pretty focused on carpentry, on putting lime on the wall. But the video also is a good glimpse into my sort of decision-making process, creative process, and stuff like that. And I know that when I watch people build things, I like to see that kind of stuff. So maybe you guys like it too. I don't know. Do let me know in the comments what you think of this style of video. I can throw in this kind of video in the future occasionally, or I could scrap the idea completely. So I'm waffling on as usual. I'll check in again at the end of the video where I'll give you my exciting news. So until then, I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you at the end. So it's time for my next task, which was gonna be lime. I was gonna put a little bit more lime on the corner in the wall, but I have a feeling it got rained on and it's too wet. So let's go investigate the lime situation, and I'll see if I can work with it now or if I'll have to let it dry out. Yeah, so this is way too wet to use. I'm gonna drain some off. So the lime is a little wet for me to use. What I'm gonna do is put it into a tray, spread it out a bit more thinly, and that'll allow it to dry out more quickly. And maybe I can use it on Monday. We'll see. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was. It could be just about perfect, really. So, perhaps I will use it today. Okay, back to the darkness corner we come, and here's my plan. I've got this guy. It goes kind of over there, or does it? Maybe it goes over here. It goes over there. This guy goes over there somehow, and then this guy goes in here like this. And it's all been cut so that it sort of fits in as it should, and I then need to make it kind of as square as possible, but I also want to use this guy as a guide as well. And so I'm going to bolt these down to the ground, and I might put some lime in these spaces, but I might not. I don't know. So first step is just to get these guys bolted down, and then I'll have a think about it, come back and finish it off on Monday or Tuesday. Good morning from a new day. It's Monday, and I'm still groggy from the weekend's festivities on Saturday, so that tells you it was a very fun night. So I might be off to a slow start this morning, but I have a lot of stuff I want to get done. So we're going to start by marking out and cutting some pieces as shelf supports for the corner cabinet. I hadn't been sure how I wanted to do the supports. But when I was falling asleep last night, I had an aha moment, and so now I have an idea. So I'll work on that. And then I have to chip out a rock in the corner, which is totally in the way. And then I've got some liming that I want to do. And then once all that's done, I'll be able to assemble all of the pieces for the cabinet and yeah, put it in place. I'm anxious to get going. Yesterday was a total write-off. I did nothing, just relaxed. So today I'm back at it and looking forward to getting some stuff done. Oops, I forgot to do these guys. So I'll linseed oil these ones, and then we're gonna go investigate the rock in the corner of darkness. So these are all the pieces that I need to assemble the frame for the shelf. I have 4 uprights, shelf support pieces, some other pieces, and then the base. I've given all of the pieces I need to assemble the corner cabinet a 3rd coat of linseed oil, and they're all ready to go. I think I have some linseed oil on my nose, perhaps. So I'm gonna go to the corner of darkness, check out what's happening with that rock, see if I can bash it out, and then I'll be doing some work with lime. My issue is this guy here. Once I get the cabinet installed, it'll want to come up to about this height, and this chunky rock is in the way, which is annoying because I planned this so that I wouldn't have any mess going in between there. But I've got this piece of wood. I'm going to stick that down, and hopefully all the debris will fall into that and not make that too dirty. I have the tools I need, and I'm hoping these do the job because I don't want to bring the grinder out because it'll create too much dust. So let's see if these will help me get rid of this. All right, let's give it a try. So this is a particularly hard stone, and I can tell already it's going to take ages. So I'm going to get the drill and poke some holes in, and hopefully that makes the whole thing a lot easier to chip off. So I've basically turned that rock into Swiss cheese using the drill. Let's see if that makes it any easier to chisel. The answer, I think, is yes. Much easier. That is hot and sweaty work. Yeah, doesn't help that there's no airflow in this corner. I suppose I could put the fan on. Anyway, those chisels are beasts. That rock is gone, and I have a clear path to put up the cabinet after I do the lime work. But I'm exhausted, and I'm going to do the lime on a different day. I'm going to do it probably tomorrow. So I'm going to call it quits for today, and I will see you in the morning for another day of work that's hopefully not quite as sweaty. Hello from a brand new day. It's just beautiful out here. It's wonderful to be greeted by such an amazing morning. I've got my coffee and I'm psyching up for work because I've also been greeted by the mess that I left yesterday. So first things first, I have to deal with that, and then I'm going to get straight into the work, and hopefully today is the day that I finally get some lime on the wall and assemble this kitchen cabinet. But first, coffee. That's good. Okay, I think that'll do. Let's get some lime on the wall. I must admit that I don't have a fully fleshed out plan yet. I know I have to screw this guy down still. I know there's going to be a lot of gluing and a lot of screwing of the frame, a lot of clamping, but the way it goes together is going to be kind of puzzle-like, and it'll have to go together in some sort of specific order so I can put certain screws in certain places, which probably doesn't make any sense to you, but it all makes sense in my head. I do know for sure that I want to get lime on the wall before I put the cabinet in place, because once I get the wooden frame in place, it'll be really hard to access the wall and get a nice smooth finish on the lime. So I'm not going to do the final coat of the lime, but I'm going to build up the wall, and then hopefully the frame of the cabinet sort of nestles nicely into the soft lime. It all hardens up, it all supports it, and then I can come back later and do the final coat. Okay, so here's my idea. I've wet the wall a bit more. I've made marks here and here, which is roughly to the top of where the cabinet will be. And my idea is to build up the lime to be as plumb as possible up until this level. And I'll worry about the rest later on. This is a priority for now, so I'm gonna use what lime I have. I have a whole bucket outside as well. I don't have any more sand, so my focus is gonna be on this bottom part. If I have more lime, I'll continue up, but I can't stick the cabinet stuff in until I finish this. Oh, light out. Corner of darkness is even darker. Ah! I'll get a new battery and get started. Yay! Okay, so you get the idea. And as much as I'd love to show you my questionable technique plastering this entire wall, it is quite difficult to film and plaster at the same time. So I'm going to say goodbye for the moment, and I'll check back in when I'm a little bit more finished. Holy smokes, it's very sweaty back here. I don't know why I don't have the fan pointed directly at my face. That's what I'm going to do now. Well, first I'm going to take a break and drink some water, but I just wanted to show you what I've done so far. I'm maybe a third of the way done, and I'm working on filling in the sort of spaces between the rocks that are still there, and also building the wall up so that it's plumb or plumb-ish up until the level of the top of the counter. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to push it onto the wall. It's quite strenuous, and I do think you're not supposed to go so thick with lime all at once. So I will monitor the situation. I think I'm probably just on the cusp. Because it's lime putty, it's so sticky, it's really old, and it's staying on the wall really nicely. But I don't know if it means that it'll have problems curing or what. So I might do a little bit more research about that. But it seems to be fine. Nothing's slumping off the wall, and I'm just slowly working my way up. But now, water, fan on face, and I'm going to take a bit of a rest because it's surprisingly tiring. So I will check in again once it's done a little bit more, and we can have another chat about lime. So, I've already made a mistake. See how this overhangs here? This is actually supposed to be flush. So this whole top piece has to go further into the wall, which means I actually need to scrape some of the lime out. I probably should have measured all this before. I did not. That was foolish. So I think the side will probably be fine. I'm not sure about the back, so we'll put it back in place and see what it tells me. and make adjustments as needed. Okay, so it'll definitely need to go a little bit further back, but it's more or less flush with the side, so that's good. But I have a post that needs to go here, so that's definitely gonna have to get clawed out as well. So I don't know what my strategy is here. I might just attach these things and put it all in place now and fiddle around with it later on, because it's gonna be really tricky to get it all together all at once. But if I can kind of lime it while it's in place, the lime will hold some of the wood in, and that'll make my life a little bit easier later on, I think. I guess I should have thought this through a bit better. Oh well. Okay, I scraped out quite a bit, which is annoying because obviously I put some work into putting that on, but I can rehydrate it and use it after, so it's not that big of a deal. Moment of truth, let's stick the bottom thing on and then try to get that corner guy in place as well. It looks okay. I need to measure to see what the overhang's supposed to be in order to know whether it needs to go back further or come up more. What I think I'll do first is fasten that back corner piece and the front piece to the base. This could be a horrible mistake. It could make my life miserable later on, but I just need to start moving forward with this, and hopefully ideas will come to me as I keep building. Yeah, so I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. And to make everything more annoying, I think by leaving these pieces out in the sun, the linseed oil has gotten weirdly sticky, so everything wants to kind of fasten itself to the base of the cabinet, so that's not ideal either. I'm hoping it'll all wipe away nicely with a cloth, because things are about to get pretty messy with all this lime everywhere. Yeah, so this is slightly frustrating, but I'm just going to glue things together for now and clamp everything up. I don't know, and hopefully it kind of stays in place a little bit. We'll see. Which way did I put it in? Oops. I don't even need glue on those sides. What the hell am I doing? Okay, this is ridiculousness. I'm going to put it in on the tight side and just... Ah! I already know this isn't going to work. That glue isn't going to hold anything. I think what I'll do is get a diagonal brace on there. It's kind of square, so we'll see. Oh my man, I don't know. I should have assembled this outside or something. If anyone ever suspected me of being an actual carpenter, no, this is an example of me learning as I go and proof that I am definitely not even close to being an expert at any of this. So enjoy. I think it's hilarious. A little frustrating. Hopefully it's funnier for you. But I know I'll get there in the end. I know I'll have a cabinet at some point. It might take me 2 hours. It may take me 2 days. It might take me way longer. But at some point at the end, hopefully I have a place to put some tins, etc. So I'm going to get a diagonal on there, screwed on, and then, you know what? I'm going for a nap. I deserve it. Okay, that's surprising. It's all squarish. It all kind of went in. I got glue in there. Things seem sort of sturdy. And believe it or not, I haven't had my nap. I just had a second wind. But now I'm going to leave that as it is. Hope it doesn't fall down. I was going to brace it at the back, but I'm afraid to touch the thing, so I'm not going to even look at it anymore. And I'm just going to go have a snooze and come back hopefully refreshed and ready to tackle the other side. So I'm back from my hammock nap, although I actually think I did more pondering and thinking than I did napping. But I feel much better about this whole corner situation. So this is a lot sturdier than I was expecting it to be, but I suppose the moment of truth will be when I take the clamps off. So first I'm going to put some screws in and hold this thing hopefully all together. And then I'm going to start doing the frame on the other side. I think what I've decided is rather than putting this thing together piece by piece, bit by bit, I'm just going to assemble the entire thing. And then I'm going to lime the wall right before I install it. So if there's parts that are in the way, hopefully I can just force the shelf in. So as I showed you before, I've scraped out a whole bunch of lime to make space for the bottom of the shelf and then the corner support. Those were the main obstructions, and I'm hoping I can mark everything else out so that I can do a pretty decent amount of lime and then lift this entire unit into place all as one. What that allows me to do is just make one sturdy structure that's all self-supporting. It allows me to put screws in a bunch of places that are hidden behind that I wouldn't have been able to do if I, put it together after it was installed. Anyway, this probably makes zero sense because I haven't showed anyone a drawing and you have no access to the inside of my head. But I have been sitting in the hammock thinking this through, and so I have a clear plan. And I'm going to get started. So I'm going to whack some screws into the part that I assembled already, and I'm going to, just get to work on putting the rest of it together. Okay, one side is on, and I'm happy with it. It's sturdy, screws are in, it's looking good. Things look squarish, more or less. So I'm going to do the same for the other side. I'm going to make the second piece off camera. Filming adds a lot of time to everything, so I just want to get this done by the end of today. And I will check in again when that's finished, and you can follow along once I start moving on to something new in the cabinet. I've got some other pieces to add that aren't a repeat of what I just did, so I will see you when I get started on those. Okay. I have put together the other side. I've only put screws in the front so far, plus a little bit of glue. And it hasn't had so much time to dry, so it's not that sturdy, which is good because it's quite funky. I don't know if you can see, but there's probably a twist in this wood or something, and it's causing this one to go in. This piece right here is the same width as the bottom, and so what I need to do is fasten it on here, and then pull this out to be fastened on and flush here. And then that should square everything up, and hopefully it doesn't mess everything up on this side. And same for this piece here. This has been measured in such a way as to fit perfectly in here and bring everything into alignment as well. So I'm going to start with the back and see what that does, and then I can add the screws in if it's all a success. And if it's a failure, I suppose I'll cry for a little while and then come up with some solution. So like I said, this piece will eventually go in the front here, and I haven't figured out yet how to fasten everything here. I also want to have pieces on the top just to tie everything nicely together, but I'm not sure how to fasten it yet, so I haven't made those pieces. I have an idea, and I'm glad I haven't made the pieces because it was different from what I would have done before. But first things first, let's get this guy on. Do I want 2 screws or 1 screw? I'll do 2 screws. And yes, I am working amongst my milk. This setup is not ideal. I suppose I could do all this stuff outside, but I'm in the corner now. I'm in the corner of darkness, and here I shall remain. And so making these little indents is basically so the head of the screw has somewhere to go in, to be recessed. First of all, so it doesn't get in the way when the countertop is attached, and secondly, it allows the screw to go in just a little bit more deeply, so it's a bit stronger. Putting 2 screws into this is probably overkill. The reason I wanted 2 screws is because it has to force the wood back, and it needs to be pretty strong, I think, to do that. So that's why. There's not so much space on that wood, so hopefully that doesn't rip the wood apart. But I felt like it was necessary, so I'll try it out, and if it does rip the wood apart, I have more wood, and I'll do it with 1 screw next time. Everything's popping out everywhere. Don't think I have a screw in this one either, but that one seemed to stay in. Anyway, a bit more glue, and I definitely need to get screws in these guys before I start messing around with squareness. But really, as long as the front is mostly square for fastening a cabinet onto, and as long as this side, which is actually my biggest concern, is flush this way to attach the tongue and groove, then I'm kind of fine, but this side is the part I'm most concerned about. You can sort of see, maybe you can't, looking down on it, it kind of has a twist. As in, like, this piece here isn't really in line with the corner of that piece. It'll all be okay, but it might make things annoying later on when I go to attach the tongue and groove side. Who knows? So I'll make it as square as I possibly can, but that means first, actually, reattaching all these pieces that have come loose. And clamps. If you're somebody, especially somebody who works by yourself, clamps will be your best friend. It's probably the tool I use the most often. I love them. And having these big ones makes life a lot easier. Previously, I only had ones that are about half the size. You know, you kind of make do. You can sort of link them together in a very precarious way, but these big ones are great. They also allow you to pull things together super tightly, so you can nail and screw things together a lot more securely than if you were just kind of holding them with your hands. So I'm a big fan. So I've got a couple more pieces to linseed oil and make a few small cuts on these, and 1 more piece to make a couple cuts on. And then I'm going to call it quits and hopefully finish this thing off tomorrow after the linseed oil has a chance to dry. So just got a few small things to do, and then that's going to be me for the day. Okay, that's a wrap on part 1. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed a very in-depth look at kitchen cabinet making by a definite non-pro in a corner of darkness. It's a fairly niche category. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this style of video where I kind of just do one thing for the entire video. And there's more to come next week as well. The reason I've saved the second part of the video until next week is because my parents are coming to visit on October 10th. And so rather than having to spend a whole bunch of time editing videos, I'm trying to stockpile a few and save them up so that when they're here for 2 weeks, I can focus on spending time with them and hanging out with them and getting stuff done here with them. And so while it's super exciting that my parents are coming, I think I already told you guys about that in a previous video. My new exciting news is that one of my best friends is also coming to visit because she's interested in buying a plot of land that's actually attached to my land down at the bottom. So that would be so amazing if this all happens. I think it's pretty much looking like it will, but you never know until all the papers are signed. So she'll be here from mid-October at the same time as my parents, and it's gonna be loads of fun. So I'm really, really excited for October and what that has in store. But enough of that stuff. I'm gonna say goodbye from this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. The second part of the kitchen cabinet build is next Friday. And don't forget that tomorrow is 1st of October, so I have a wrap-up video from September, and all of my hopes and dreams and goals for October will be in that video as well. So bye for now. I'll see you tomorrow. If you like the video, please share it around, and I'll see you next time.